Good evening and welcome back to Best of the 90s. This is 1990s NFL football at its best, Madden style, of course. It'd be great to actually have these teams play each other on the field in real competition, but of course, that's what video games are for, at least in my opinion. And the best way to play Madden is with these old school players. So that's what we're doing here. Best of the 90s. The opening game, if you missed that, take a look at this channel. It's in a playlist. Only one game in so far. That was the 99 Buccaneers and 92 Cowboys. A very close competitive game. But here we are. We're on to Sunday now. That was the Thursday night game. And it's the 1995 Pittsburgh Steelers against the 1990 Buffalo Bills. And as usual, we will start off with the X Factors. And for the visiting Steelers, the only X factor is the outside linebacker Greg Lloyd, but they have plenty of superstars. Rod Woodson is a superstar. He is in this game, but in real life, he was injured after just a game and did come back for the playoffs, though. So his injury rating is extremely low. We'll see how long he lasts, but at least here against the Bills, he will be able to play a little bit. Dermody Dawson, the center. Kevin Green, the other outside linebacker. Carnell Lake, who flipped to cornerback because of the injury to Rod Woodson. And Yancey Thigpen, the wide receiver. For the home team, Buffalo Bills. Two X Factors, one on each side of the ball. Right defensive end, Bruce Smith. And the running back, Thurman Thomas, with first one free. Bruce Smith, of course, unstoppable force. Superstars, center Kent Hull. Wide receiver, Andre Reed. Cornelius Bennett at left outside linebacker. Darryl Talley at right outside linebacker. And the quarterback, Jim Kelly. So now you've seen the stars, or at least those with star abilities. And now it's time to get to the game itself. This should be a good one. Last game was good as well, even though I did not expect it to be as close as it was. This one,
we'll see the AFC North champion Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Buffalo Bills, AFC East champs for the first time in 25 years. It's the start of the 2021 season, and it's headed your way.
Give me a second here just to, I forgot to fix the options for this, so I'm not talking over the, let's go to field, there we go. Okay. And then let's do some Super Sim here. All right, set it to slow. Jump forward. There we go. So here we are, Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills. The reason I expect this game to be so close is because both these teams made it to the same level. That is, they both won the AFC, but both lost in the Super Bowl. They actually both lost to Dallas Cowboys. The Bills, of course. Sorry, I keep saying that. This is the 1990 Bills, who lost, of course, to the 1990 Giants. This is not the 92 Bills. So the 90 Bills made it and were favored heavily, but lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. The 95 Steelers made it. They were not the favorites, but they played a very tough game and lost to the 95 Cowboys. So here we are. Two Super Bowl appearing teams, but not Super Bowl champions, facing off against each other. Should be a good one. Kelly completes the first pass to James Lofton. We will go over. Oh, Thurman Thomas runs over a tackler and turns it into a 9-yard gain. So you've already seen that Kelly's a superstar. Wide receiver Roger Reed's a superstar. Thurman Thomas is a superstar X Factor at running back. And there's Thurman Thomas again. Did he get it? He is going to be short, 3rd in inches now. I'll go over the offensive line after we see if they pick this first down up. We'll go ahead and go offensive line. There's Thurman Thomas picking up the first down, tackled by Carnell Lake. So offensive line for the Bills, left to right. Starting at left tackle, John Jackson. Tom Newberry. Nope, that is not true at all. That is the 95 Steelers. Okay, so the Bills at center, of course, is the star of the line is Kent Hull. But let's go, you know what, let's just go left to right because that's just easier. So from left to right, we got left tackle. Wow, Kelly almost just threw a pick there. At left tackle, you're talking about Will Wolford, also a star. But did he get hurt in the preseason? I don't see Wolford out there. That's why I wish they would announce the starting line. I believe Wolford is actually hurt. Unfortunately, I did not set the injuries to 0 during the preseason, or at least 1 week of the preseason, something like that. So I think he is hurt for the first 2 games of the season, but Wolford's normally in there. Richter, Kent Hull, the All-Pro at center, John Davis, and then Howard Ballard. And I believe starting for Wolford today, I don't know. We'll see if we can see his number out there. But the other besides the quarterback, running back, and receiver that you already know about, the other receiver is James Lofton. Tight end is Keith McKellar, but you'll also see tight end Pete Metzelaars and some other wide receivers such as Don Beebe, the speed burner. Bills have picked up a couple first downs, and now they give it to Thurman Thomas, and he runs down to the 31-yard line. Good-looking drive for the Bills here, and their K-gun offense. What? All right. Jim Kelly. Now, Jim Kelly, some people don't remember that he is... he's more mobile than people remember. Let's say it that way. But, it's not like he's going to go out doing that often. Probably run the ball twice a game is really Jim Kelly's type of situation there. He is mobile, but usually behind the line. Not a great runner or anything, but he can do it, and he surprised the Steelers with that one. And now we'll give it to Thurman Thomas. A couple yards. Kelly, quick throw. There's vintage Kelly spreading it out. Getting the ball into somebody else's hands. 3rd and 3 coming up. Now here in the K-gun offense, Jim Kelly, one of those quarterbacks that called a majority of the plays himself. But there, he didn't call for that sack, but Joel Steed delivers anyways, and that will stop the Bills in their track and force a field goal opportunity from the infamous kicker, Scott Norwood, from 42 yards out. Norwood to get the first points of the best of the 90s season, and it's good. Bills strike first, 3-0. The crowd loves it here. And now we'll see what the 95 Steelers can do about it. From the 5, across the 20, up near the 25-yard line. Pretty good return. Here comes quarterback Neil O'Donnell. Neil O'Donnell, there you see some of his ratings. He is 29 years old here in 1995. Jim Kelly was 30 in 1990, so basically the same age, same points in their career. Not the same accomplishments thus far. I don't know if they showed you Kelly's ratings or not, but you know Kelly is a superstar, and he is rated higher than Neil O'Donnell, but O'Donnell, an effective starting quarterback for sure. The other stars on offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers, center DeMarty Dawson and wide receiver Yancey Thigpen. Actually, it's the only 2 stars on the offense. So let's just run it through it real quick. Across the line, you have left tackle John Jackson, Tom Newberry. DeMarty Dawson is the center, and a great one. Brendan Stye, the rookie right guard. Leon Searcy, and actually Brendan Stye will not start. There's kind of a platoon at right guard between Stye and Justin, I can't even remember how to say his name. But Sty is not always the starter. I'm butchering. I'm drawing a blank here. Justin Zik. I can't remember, and I am sorry for that. But either way, the line wasn't good enough to get a first down. The Steelers will punt, and the Bills recover. Or not recover, but take over. All right. So here we go. First drive, the Bills got 3 points out of it. Now in their second drive.
Boom! Yeah, baby!
And that'll bring up 2nd and 2. And Greg Lloyd, the only superstar X factor that the Steelers have, is running off the field with an injury. That is not good for the Steeler fans out there. But the Bills will hand off to Thurman Thomas. He avoids the first tackler. He gets taken down by big Kevin Green. But after he crosses the line for a first down, Jim Kelly now from the shotgun again, almost exclusively from the shotgun here in the first quarter. Wait, in trouble, and down he goes. He had time, but he couldn't get the ball out of his hands, and Ray Seals gets the sack. Well, we hope Greg Lloyd is okay. But let's go ahead and meet the starters of the Steelers real quick, since they won't show up on the screen there. It is at left end is Leon Seals, who just got the sack. Ray Seals. Ray Seals. Too many Seals. Seals on each team. Ray Seals is the right end. Left end is Brunson Buckner. The nose tackle is Joel Steed. Kevin Green's on the left outside. In the middle, you got Levon Kirkland and Chad Brown. On the right outside linebacker is the superstar X-Factor Greg Lloyd, although he is out right now being evaluated. Cornerbacks are Willie Williams, Carnell Lake, and, as long as he stays healthy, Rod Woodson, but he probably won't last more than a game or two with his injury rating down in the single digits. Myron Bell and Darren Perry are the safeties. Jim Kelly gets it out to Thurman Thomas. He gets up near midfield, gets some of that yardage back, but they will still have to punt on 4th and 11. So we talked about the fact that this should be a good game based on the fact that both these teams won the AFC. They won their conference, but neither won the Super Bowl. Let's take a little bit closer look. For the visiting Steelers, they were 11-5. Outscored their opponents 407 to 327, putting them as number 5 on offense as far as points scored and 9th on defense. And on the other hand, the Buffalo Bills of 1990, they had a better regular season record at 13-3, but again made it to the same spot where they got to the Super Bowl but did not win. They finished number 1 with 428 points scored, and number 6 on defense, 263. So in both offense and defense, well, no, let me go back. Offense, the Bills were number 1 in their year. Steelers were number 5. Yep. Defense, Bills were 6. Steelers were 9. So the Bills are slightly better in actually both areas, offense and defense, as far as points allowed. Neil O'Donnell, handoff, Bam Morris, and Darryl Talley's there to make the stop. 2nd and 11, and I think that'll be the end of the first quarter. Take a look at the stats. See, the Bills have run 18 plays while the Steelers have only run 7. So a big ball control offense for the Buffalo Bills, which is not how the Steelers want that to go. The Bills are comfortable having the ball less. Oh, Neil O'Donnell throws an ill-advised pass. He was actually getting hit as he threw it, and it comes right into the arms of Jackson, the corner, and the Buffalo Bills get a great field position swap as Kirby Jackson picks it off, and the Buffalo Bills have great starting field position here. Neil O'Donnell forced that throw, got hit as he was doing it, and now the Bills have a chance to put some more points on the board. Kelly's going to drop back. He's going to throw complete to McKellar. Kelly off to a great start, 6 of 7. Greg Lloyd still being evaluated. Let you know as soon as we know anything. Steelers really need him to get back, though. Handoff Thurman Thomas. Gets close to the first down, but I think he's just short. 10 carry. The Bills doing a good job of mixing it up. They've actually run more than they've thrown so far, but a good mix. I formation now, and handoff Thurman Thomas. It looked like he was in between. Does he make the play or not? And actually, Lloyd's replacement, which is still a very fine linebacker himself, and Jason Gilden, not a superstar X Factor or anything, but a solid backup. And he makes the tackle behind the line. Gilden comes unblocked. Thurman Thomas hesitated back there. And at 4th and 2, the Bills are not sending out Norwood. They're keeping the offense out there, and Jim Kelly will hand off to Thurman Thomas. He's right at the line. He is right at the line. This could go either way. They give it to the Bills. First down. The gamble from Marv Levy pays off, and now they'll hand off to Thurman again. Thurman Thomas down into the red zone, down to the 18-yard line. Thurman Thomas, one of the best players in this entire best of the 90s league, and they are feeding him the ball today. How good was Thurman Thomas? Well, you're talking over 1,800 yards from scrimmage in 1990. Oh, Jim Kelly looking in the end zone, and it's knocked away. Back to Thurman Thomas, 1,297 rushing yards, another 532 yards receiving, 13 total touchdowns, 49 receptions to go with all those yards. And here they'll settle for another Scott Norwood field goal. So they go for it the first time on 4th down, but this time they settle for the field goal. But Norwood puts it home, and Norwood has started off 2 of 2. That's good for his confidence. 6-0. 1990 Bills. Anyone watching this game, if you have any memories of either of these teams, if you're a Bills or Steelers fan, of course, we'd like to hear from you. But even just in general, if you're like myself and you grew up watching and loving 1990s football, or not even grew up, but, well, I mean, I guess what was I, 12, 13, when the 90s started, so I guess I certainly wasn't completely growing up at that time, but you know what I'm trying to say. If you like 90s football, even if you're not a fan of these teams, any memories that you have about the 1990 Bills team or the 95 Steelers team, definitely leave those comments below. What other teams do you hope are in this league? You know, what was your favorite overall team from the 90s? Was it the 94 49ers? They're in here. Was it the 1996 Green Bay Packers? I hope not. Good Lord, pick a better team than the Packers, but they are in here. Who's your favorite? Leave it in the comments below. What do you think about Neil O'Donnell? Some people say he's overrated. Some people say he's underrated. To me, I think of a starting quarterback worthy of being a starting quarterback, not someone that you win because of, but normally, if you don't count the actual Super Bowl in 1995, he won't necessarily lose you games, so he doesn't win or lose, kind of a game manager type. But here he's going up against Jim Kelly, who is much more than that, so he has got his work cut out for him. Down 6-0. 2nd and 9. Neil O'Donnell back to throw again. He completes it, gets a few of those yards. And you see Neil O'Donnell starting off 3 of 5. The interception to Kirby Jackson was his big mistake. But it's only 6-0. They can recover. The Steelers, when I think Steelers of the 90s, early 90s era, well, Steelers in general, you just think of defense. But in the 90s under Bill Cowher, definitely a defense led by its linebackers. And the Steelers team, actually, they were better at offense than defense. As we went over the numbers before, they were 5th in scoring, 9th in allowing points. So it's just a little bit odd. I mean, Neil O'Donnell doesn't strike you as a guy that leads a prolific offense or anything, but they opened it up a little bit, let's say. They opened up the game somewhat under Bill Cowher and decided they're going to have to outscore some people to win games, and that's what they did. Can they outscore the 90 Bills, though? I don't know about that. We'll see, though. Right now, they just need to get a point. And there's Bam Morris doing his job to get a first down. You're going to see, whereas you've seen Thurman Thomas getting a ton of carries for the Bills. And although his running back's not bad in Kenneth Davis, but Thurman Thomas is such a superstar, you ought to feed him as much as possible. The Steelers are going to definitely spread it out a little bit more. There's Pegram, only his 2nd carry, but trust me, Pegram actually led the team in rushing. Bam Morris, although, is a very physical back, and so he will get carries as well. Neil O'Donnell now back to throw again, and now he's in trouble, and he's going to go down. Jeff Wright comes through, gets him for the 12-yard sack. Buffalo's first sack of the game, and the Steelers now in a huge hole at 3rd and 22. That takes them way out of field goal position. Neil O'Donnell trying to get some of those yards back. Fires deep downfield. He's got the first down. He didn't just go to get yards. He went to the one star that they have on offense outside of the offensive line, which is Yancey Thigpen. Yancey Thigpen in 1995, 85 catches for over 1,300 yards, 5 touchdowns. Definitely a season that I don't know if he did it quietly or if I'm losing my memory, but Yancey Thigpen, I knew he had a good year. I did not remember it was that good, over 1,300 yards. But again, the Steelers kind of decided to open up the offense a little bit after years of just playing smash mouth only football. Second and 15. They keep getting themselves in long yardage situations. It's not a good recipe for success. This is play action, though, and that gives Neil O'Donnell time. He throws it to the sidelines, close to the sidelines. Catch is made. You see up there at the top, the Bills have the momentum. It's not full, but it's strong enough to affect the kickers for the Steelers. Oh, another interception thrown. I thought maybe he dropped it, but not so lucky was Neil O'Donnell, as this time it is picked off by Williams. The first interception was Kirby Jackson, and now the interception made by Williams, James Williams. Yeah, I don't remember if he's the nickel or the dime back, but either way, they put extra defensive backs back there, and it paid off. Neil O'Donnell, 2 interceptions. I said before, Neil O'Donnell's not someone that wins you games, but he usually doesn't throw interceptions unless you're talking about this game here or the real-life 95 Super Bowl. Buckner comes in and gets a sack, so each of the ends have now gotten to Kelly. So Jim Kelly, talk about Jim Kelly here in 1990. 2,829 yards passing with 24 touchdowns to only 9 interceptions. He did scramble a few times, like I said, not a lot, maybe 2 times per game, but 22 rushes for 63 yards, no rushing touchdowns. There's a handoff to Thurman Thomas. Why would you run with Jim Kelly when you can give it to Thurman Thomas? That's another point that is well made. So the Bills take some of the timeouts away from the Steelers and give the ball back. So all that interception did really was lose the Steelers some field position and some timeouts. Now we'll see if Neil O'Donnell can still get him into field goal position before the half is over. There's a completion downfield to rookie tight end Mark Bruner. And he is into the 38-yard line. People didn't believe me about the Steelers opening up the offense, but how about this? I told you that Jim Kelly in 1990 threw for 28-29. Neil O'Donnell in 95 threw for more yards than Jim Kelly. 2,970 yards for Neil O'Donnell. 17 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. He's got 2 already this half. And Neil O'Donnell, I would say, is less mobile than Jim Kelly for sure, but he did rush almost the same amount of times, 24 times for 45 yards. The best part of both offensive lines is their center. Here's the kicker now from 53 yards away. Norm Johnson is good. He makes it. Norm Johnson from 53 yards away, the 35-year-old with just barely enough legs still. Wow. That was a great kick from Norm Johnson, and the Steelers get on the board right before the half ends. And at the half, a very defensive game, surprisingly. Not completely shockingly, both these teams were top 10 defenses in their given years, but again, a little bit surprising to me that it's only 6-3, but that's what it is. We're going to live with this horrible halftime show of, the curse of having 32 user teams, basically, is that they will never show you a game going on or anything, and the third game is always going to be the Bears against the Bears. So none of this means anything. We're just going to live with this part to get to something that is decent. After this, I'll actually tell you what's going on in the game we're watching, which is coming up right here. So here we go with the Steelers. Short passing, only 30% frequency, but Neil O'Donnell's 100% when he goes short for 31 yards. On the Buffalo Bills side, how are they running? Well, they run for 50 yards inside. So inside running, they're choosing to run inside almost 54% of the time, and they've gotten 50 yards doing so, which is pretty good to set up play action pass, and maybe even set up some outside running later in the second half.
Let's go.
Okay, handoff is to Bam Morris. That's his 8th carry for 25 yards. Bam Morris getting more of the carries than Pegram so far today. Neil O'Donnell will take this, though, from the shotgun. It's dropped. Dropped for no real good reason. He was wide open. And now on 3rd and 5, Neil O'Donnell's got more pressure on him than had that been caught for the 3 or 4 yard gain. Neil O'Donnell will fire down. He'll just get it out of bounds. Neil O'Donnell just getting it out, avoiding the sack, living with the punt. And lefty Ron Stark with the punt.
Here we go.
And the Bills take over. Jim Kelly. I think it's going to show us what he did in the first half. Now they're going to show him getting harassed. Well, the Steelers do get sacks. That is for sure. What we can tell you here, I've already told you their actual stats, but how do they rank in this league, this particular league that we're doing here, where teams cross years but not decades. They're all from the 90s. So how do these teams rank as far as the 90s are concerned? Well, we'll go Buffalo Bills first. Of the 32 teams in this league, Kelly off his back foot throws over everyone, but he might get a pass interference. He might get bailed out with a pass interference call. Wow, that was a dangerous throw by Kelly off his back foot and pretty much into double coverage. But Willie Williams commits pass interference, and the Bills get a big play out of it. So the Bills, as far as yards per play, what's the term? Averaged out yards per play to kind of keep it even across the decade. We have the Bills coming in at 7th best. Out of 32 teams in this 1990s best of league, the Bills are 7th in passing and 6th in running. So very good offense for the Buffalo Bills. The 95 Steelers, on the other hand, check in at 17th in passing and 24th in running. So there you go. As I told you, well, first of all, Kelly had a little bit of injury problem, missed a couple of games. That's one of the reasons Neil O'Donnell actually had more passing yards. But the other thing is that the Steelers, even though yardage, a couple big plays, made it look like perhaps they actually had a better offense than the Bills. When you really break it down, oh my God, there's a huge hit and a fumble. McKellar gets rocked, fumbles the football. The Steelers pick it up, and all the way down, only Jim Kelly tackles Levon Kirkland. Levon Kirkland must have been extremely tired. I am not sure that Jim Kelly would have wanted to get in the way of Levon Kirkland if he was going full speed. But Kirkland forces the fumble and then picks up a huge play by the middle linebacker. Kelly able to chase him down and tip him over to stop the touchdown from happening. But now the Steelers come out with great field position. That's the Bills' first turnover, and the Steelers are almost already in field goal range. In fact, Norman Johnson hit from 53, so he basically is in field position already. Neil O'Donnell will fire, and that's not. I thought it was going to be picked off, but instead it's a touchdown. The Bills defender, let's see if they'll show that in a replay. The Bills defender went for the pick. I thought he had it, but it got past him and into the hands of the receiver. Look, they're going to show this part of it. That's dumb. So I was pretty sure that was Nate Odom's number 37 that came flying in like he was going to get the pick. But alas, he did not. It was in the Steelers' hands, and then there was no one there to make the tackle. So all out going for the interception. When you don't get it, sometimes you give up touchdowns like that. And the Steelers from 1995 take the lead on the 1990 Bills. It's now 10-6. I said it would be a close game. If it was in a neutral field, I would still say I would favor the 1990 Bills by a couple, but since they're at home, I kind of had this as maybe a 5-point win for the Bills, setting the odds, maybe 6. I'll say 5. I'll say I had the Bills favored by 5, but here they are right now trailing by 4, despite Neil O'Donnell's 2 interceptions. So definitely a interesting start to this one, but we're still early. It's still early third. Jim Kelly will fire and complete it. Goes right back to McKellar. McKellar, the man who fumbled the football. Kelly goes right back to him. Kelly, 9 of 11. And he'll take it from the shotgun again. And looking deep, Jim Kelly going for a huge play. And knocked out of Andre Reed's hands at the last minute. Kelly now drops back to pass 3rd and 3. Yeah, oh boy. Whew. Carnell Lake came in, had the interception in his hands, but dropped it. And that was probably a pick 6 if he holds on. And the Steelers miss an opportunity to go up by double digits. And instead they will take over at their own 33. So going back to where they rank out of the 32 teams in this league, the Steelers offense 17th in passing, 24th in rushing. So again, if you're looking at passing, the Bills are 7, the Steelers are 17th. In rushing, the Bills are 6th, and the Steelers are 24th. So definite advantage when you really look into the numbers. The advantage definitely goes to the Buffalo Bills there on offensive capabilities. On defense, the Buffalo Bills come in, as I have them, as the 15th best defense against the pass out of these 32 teams. The Steelers, 95 Steelers, are 21st. So the Bills lead in that category as well. And the Steelers finally get one against the run. The 1995 Steelers are 9th best out of these 32 teams and best of the 90s. 9th best team is your 95 Steelers. The 14th best team is the 1990 Buffalo Bills. So the Bills, although they did not win the Super Bowl, all 4 areas, offensive passing, offensive rushing, defense against the pass, and defense against the run, all 4 areas, they rank in the top half, the halfway mark being team number 16. They're 16th or better in all 4 areas, so they are definitely a competitor for playoffs, certainly. Who else is in their division? Well, the 96 Patriots, who made it to the Super Bowl, but did not win either. 98 Jets, who made it to the AFC Championship game, which is not even as good as the Super Bowl. And then 92 Dolphins, I believe. The Dolphins had a lot of teams. Let me just double check my list here, because they had a lot of teams to choose from. None great, but all competitive. 92, there it is, 1992 Dolphins. So I got the 92 Dolphins probably finishing in last. Jets should be third. Patriots. I have the Bills winning this division. The 1990 Bills are likely to win their division. But if you start losing games at home, then you never know. As far as the Steelers go, they have the 1999 Ravens, the 1994 Cleveland Browns under Bill Belichick, and the 1990 Cincinnati Bengals. So I actually have both of these teams winning their respective divisions. And so this is a huge game for playoff seeding, as if things go as expected, I have both the 95 Steelers and the 1990 Bills winning their divisions in this league and probably meeting again in the playoffs. So this game might determine where they play in the playoffs. Will it be back here in New York or Buffalo, New York, Orchard Park, or will it be in Pittsburgh? 4th down here. Too far for a field goal, I think. I don't know. That'd be pushing the limits for the 35-year-old. They're thinking about it. They might go for it. They might have to go for it. Or do they punt and hope their defense? There, look at a replay here while they're still thinking. They are going to give Norm Johnson just the 35-year-old's going to try from 55 yards. It's a fake. It's a fake. Tomczak comes up firing downfield, and it's knocked away as the Buffalo Bills did not fall asleep on the fake. Bill Cowher tries to catch the Bills napping on special teams, but they were up for the challenge, and now the Bills get good field position. Although since it was a fake, had they tried the field goal and missed, the Bills would have had it at 45. Since it was actually a fake and a passing play, they just get it at the 38. But still, they get the ball, and that's the most important thing for them. The Steelers have tightened up against the run. So Thurman Thomas has already run it 18 times. But the Steelers have really tightened it down. There's no yardage for Thurman Thomas anymore. He's only at 50-something yards, even on 18 carries. So that Steelers definitely showing that they're a top 10 run defense team, even in a league that's built on only the best teams of 1990. Kelly finds McKellar again for a first down. Kelly 11 of 15. Steelers have done a good job not giving up the big play. In fact, the biggest play that the Bills have, I think, is like a 16-yard play. No big plays allowed. Jim Kelly in trouble, gets rid of it. Smart to not take the sack there. 3 minutes to go in the third. Steelers 10, Bills 6. Kelly from the shotgun. In trouble. Looking deep. Looking for the home run ball. Oh, Andre Reed, he overthrows him. Andre Reed was on Williams. That's the matchup the Bills wanted. Kelly took the chance, but overthrew it just a little bit. Now he'll come back underneath to McKellar, and he stopped short of the first down. And what will the Bills do here? Nice tackle by safety Myron Bell. And they're going to punt. Bills going to trust their defense. Play the field position game at this point. Only third quarter. Not the best punt. Definitely we're looking for a better punt there from Tootin. Ideally, he would have downed him maybe around the 6-yard line, 10, 11. But instead, it's a horrible punt. Down at the 26. Had the coach, Marv Levy, known that was the punt he was going to get, I'm sure he would have went for it, as they only gained about 16 yards on that. Okay, here's a handoff trying to go wide with Bam Morris. That doesn't work. 9 carries, 25 yards. Cornelius Bennett on the tackle. Here's a couple tight ends. It looks like they want to run heavy to the left, and now Yancey Thickman comes in to make a tighter formation. But instead they go out to Mark Bruner, who gets across midfield and into Buffalo territory. The rookie tight end with his second important catch of the afternoon. And now the Steelers have wrestled momentum away from the Bills. We see the rookie tight end having a big impact on this one. Steelers almost in field goal range already. Trying to show the world that they are the better AFC Championship caliber team. So we went through the East and the North, and there was no Super Bowl winners there. So if we're judging this based solely off of what they did in their respective years, then I'd still have both these teams winning the divisions, but neither won the Super Bowl. So were there any AFC teams that won the Super Bowl? Well, there definitely were. In the West, the team I expect to win the West, the 98 Broncos, actually repeat as champions. So they won in both 97 and 98. So that two-time Super Bowl winning championship team. Definitely the favorites over there. And in the South, let's see, the Titans got as far as these guys, where they made it to the Super Bowl and lost by a yard. The Oilers did not. The Colts, 1999 Colts did not. And the Jaguars did not. So AFC Championship game. So yeah, it is. Wow. Wait a minute. Chiefs. Okay, so there's plenty. I mean, the NFC was the more dominant conference in the 90s. So the playoffs of the NFC may host this, will probably be the Super Bowl. The NFC teams were stronger, but the only team in the AFC that won the Super Bowl is the Broncos. So the Broncos are definitely. The Broncos are more of a favorite in the AFC than anyone is in the NFC. Oh, there's Mark Bruner. If Bruner keeps playing like this, the completions between Neil O'Donnell to rookie tight end Mark Bruner, that could be a thing that turns this league on its head. If that continues to happen, the Steelers might just be the best team in the AFC. They're showing me something here. Mark Bruner, a beast so far in the season, giving the Bills all kinds of problems. Neil O'Donnell threw 2 early interceptions, but he's answered that with 2 touchdown passes and has himself a 17-6 lead. And now Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills are under a little bit of pressure here. Admittedly, the Buffalo Bills of 1990, one of the better offenses in this league. Again, going back to the ratings of the 32 teams in this league, I put the Bills as the 6th best running team and the 7th best passing team. 6 and 7, that's a total of 13. That's got to be one of the best offenses in this entire league. In fact, if I had to let you know what teams I think are better at offense, I would probably put the 98 Vikings. The 1999 St. Louis Rams, of course, the greatest show on turf. The 98 Vikings, just offense. And probably the 98 Broncos. Those would be the teams off the top of my head that I think might be better than the 90 Bills, but I have the 90 Bills are probably top 5 in offenses in this entire league. Well, in case I'm forgetting a couple teams off the top of my head, let's say top 8, but I think they're definitely in the top quarter. But today they are getting shut down by the Steelers. Neil O'Donnell on the day, 16 of 23, 217 yards, couple touchdowns, couple picks. Not a bad game at all for Neil O'Donnell. And now the Steelers will start running the ball, trying to work on that clock a little bit. The Bills had a huge advantage in time possession in the first half. The Steelers have been working to try to even that out here in the second half, and now they will work on it even more. There's another handoff. Bam Morris gets the first down. And now the Steelers have filled the momentum up and gotten both momentum benefits from it, and the Buffalo Bills could be in trouble. High formation now, draining the clock as much as possible. Another handoff. Runs over. Oh, nice tackle, actually. Looked like he was going to run over Jackson, but instead the tackle was made. Now Bam Morris on the other side trying to break tackles. Bills not having any of it. Third and 4. Big play here. Big play. Bills need to stop him right here. But Neil O'Donnell finds his tight end again. Mark Bruner having a huge day. The Bills need to figure out how to cover the tight end, as Mark Bruner is just destroying them with 119 yards receiving on the day. Neil O'Donnell has found his favorite target, and he's gone to him over and over when needed. And now the Steelers are in field goal position already. Pegram has had a disastrous day. Bam Morris has been the better runner. But every run now gets at least 30 seconds off the clock, so it's worth it. Neil O'Donnell from the shotgun now. He's going to go up top and hit his man. First down again. This time it's Johnson. Charles Johnson's up to 54 yards. Neil O'Donnell just hitting the passes when he needs to, definitely managing the game, even more than a game manager after those first 2 interceptions. There's another handoff. Clock continues to run. Pegram's 9 carries, 9 yards. We're down to 6.5 minutes. They've run 6 minutes off the clock, I think, or 5 minutes here on this drive. That's weird. 3rd and 10. Let's see, will they run it for even more time off the clock, or are they going to try to pick up the first down passing? And there's motion. Will they even get it off? They do decide to run it, and he breaks a tackle and almost gets the first down anyways. Kirby Jackson from the cornerback position able to bring him down. And so the Bills will finally stop the Steelers, but it looks like they're going to give up 3 more points as they let them get all the way down to the 14-yard line. Norm Johnson, the chipper from 31, and that's good. Steelers have all the momentum. They've scored 20 unanswered points to lead 20-6. Bills have only 5 minutes left. They need a touchdown on this drive without doubt. But preferably, if they're really going to have a chance, they need the touchdown before the 2-minute warning without having to use any of their timeouts. Look at the total yards. The Steelers have allowed this great offense of 1990 Buffalo Bills to only 96 total yards. And now it's knocked down at the line. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had just a fantastic game on defense. And when Greg Lloyd went out in the first quarter, we did not think we would be saying that, but the Steelers have risen to the occasion. Jim Kelly just gets rid of the ball as he was about to get sacked. 3rd and 10. Kelly needs to do something special here. Kelly needs to find Reed or Lofton. Somebody needs to get open for Jim Kelly on this play. Jim Kelly airs it out, looking deep. That's incomplete. He was about to get hit again. 4th and 10. This is the game for all intents and purposes. If the Steelers take over here, it's over. Kelly, will they give him time? Fires complete, and that's James Lofton picking up the first down. It's not completely over yet. 4.5 minutes to go. Bills holding on to just a thread of hope. Jim Kelly will give it to Thurman Thomas. Gets a couple yards. It's going to work against him with the clock, though. Neil O'Donnell already celebrating on the sideline. That might be a little bit premature. Kelly from the shotgun now. He's firing down the field, and it's almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. Kelly will get another chance, though. 3rd and 7. Still time. Still can use any part of the field, but you got to start getting some first downs. He throws the ball out of bounds. 4th and 7. Well, on 4th and 10, the Steelers could have ended the game, but Kelly came through. Will they do it again on 4th and 7, or will the Steelers end this thing? Kelly's looking deep. He wants more than just a first down, and he won't get either. Don Beebe wasn't able to catch up to the pass, which means Kelly threw it pretty far. And the Steelers are going to win this thing. The Bills still have their timeouts, but now you're talking about getting touchdowns, onside kick recoveries, and another touchdown. I mean, it's just too hard now. It's just too hard. Not impossible, but too hard. A couple handoffs here. We'll get it down to the 2-minute warning. Then the Bills will have to use a timeout if they even stop them. Okay, so there we are. 2 minutes. The Bills need 2 minutes. 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes, and they don't even have the ball. Now, it looks like Neil O'Donnell's going to shotgun. A turnover is the one thing that could get the Bills back into the game if he were to throw an interception. But instead, he makes a nice safe throw, and the fight might have gotten it. He is short, though, so the Bills will get the ball back. Wait. Oh, I didn't even realize the Steelers were this far. They get it back, but after Norm Johnson puts another field goal through. The Steelers had great field position from the failed 4th down, and that should do it now. 23-6. Now it's a 3-score game. It's over. It's over. We just got to see if the Bills can put some yards up, because they have really been shut down. Shut down more than I thought would have been possible with the 95 Steelers. Bill Cowher came in with a perfect game plan. And the Bills are going to walk out of here very disappointed. They would like to put at least a touchdown, but instead Jim Kelly gets hit by Kevin Green, fumbles the football, and the Steelers get a defensive touchdown. And now what was a good game moments ago at 17-6 is looking like a complete blowout. The Steelers have scored 30 points in a row. Kevin Green's excited. Everyone's celebrating on the Pittsburgh sidelines. What a disaster this has been in the second half for the Buffalo Bills. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for the Bills today, and they're going to lose a home game against a team that they will probably see in the playoffs. So that has all kinds of implications. Kelly now just trying to get one good drive together. At this point, there's no way of doing anything. You just want to get a good drive and maybe get some momentum for week number 2. Kelly completes a couple passes in a row, gets across the midfield, improve the stats a little bit, improve the confidence a little bit. That's all you're looking for here on this final drive. Kelly underneath the Thurman Thomas again. Obviously, the Steelers are in prevent, so that play is going to be there every single time if they want it. Kelly drops back. Thurman stays in the block, so he's got to go to someone else. He hits Andre Reed up to the 15-yard line and thrown to the ground by Chad Brown. That was a little excessive. Kelly now from the shotgun looking in the end zone and touchdown. So there you go. That's what we wanted. There's no chance in this game, but you could get some confidence, and now they're going to try to get a little bit more confidence for their team by going for 2. Kelly, quick throw, and he's got it. So a nice drive at least to end with. Getting in the end zone, getting the 2-point conversion, at least putting 14 points up for the game, which looks a little bit better. But now the Steelers can come out, kneel the ball, and win the game. Let's see if the Bills will be petty enough to call timeout and make O'Donnell kneel twice. They will indeed. You might as well kneel twice, they say. Well, his name is Neil, so why not let him do it? So it looks like what we've had here is 2 upsets to start the season. I didn't even draw your attention to the scores at the bottom of the screen. If you saw some of those, you could see what else happened here in the early stages of the game of week 1. But we will be back in a few days with another game from week 1. As most of the games are in the morning, though, so when we come back, there'll be only a few games remaining. I know the Broncos, Giants, yes, the Broncos and Giants are definitely a candidate. The 98 Broncos and 1990 Giants, both Super Bowl winners. That will be probably the next game broadcast. If it's not that, though, then it will certainly be the Sunday night game, which is the greatest show on turf, 99 Rams. Probably going to blow out my Bears team from 1990. Well, thank you for watching. This has been Best of the 90s. Join us again in a couple days, and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye.